Which GST return should I file? Is a common question asked by taxpayers under GST. It does not matter whether you're a newly registered business or not, because the government introduces new return forms from time to time, and it's always best to be sure. There are also new schemes announced for small taxpayers with simplified filing options that you can choose from for an easier GST compliance. In this video, I will decode all the returns under GST and tell you which return you have to file for your business. Hello and welcome. I'm Annapurna from Clear, from the makers of Clear Tax. It is India's largest tax and financial services platform. Clear serves more than 3,000 large enterprises and more than 4 lakh growing businesses. If you would like to get clear explanations of updates relating to GST, e-invoicing, e-way bills and much more, then subscribe to our channel. A GST return is a statement that contains details of your business such as sales, purchases, input tax credit claimed, tax liabilities, etc. Every GST-registered taxpayer is required to file a GST return with the tax administrative authorities, but the frequency of filing depends on the type of taxpayer and the turnover of business. The GST return filed is then used by tax authorities to calculate the net tax liability that the business owes to the government. There are 13 return forms under GST. They are GST-R1, GST-R3B, 4, 5, 5A, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, CMP-08 and ITC-04. However, all these returns do not apply to all taxpayers. Taxpayers file returns based on type of registration obtained. Government also provides taxpayers with statement of input tax credit, namely GST-R2A, which is dynamic, and GST-R2B, which is static. Besides the returns I mentioned, the taxpayers with turnover exceeding Rs 5 crore are also required to file self-certified reconciliation statement in form GST-R9C. For small taxpayers registered under QRMP scheme, there is an invoice furnishing facility or IFF to furnish their business-to-business or B2B sales for the first 2 months of the quarter. However, such taxpayers will still need to pay taxes on a monthly basis. Now let's decode the various returns under GST and find out which GST return you should file. But before I proceed, let me quickly remind you to type in your GST queries in the comment section of this video. Our experts will answer them for you. So, which GST return should you file? Let's start with GST-R1. GST-R1 is a return to be filed by all regular taxpayers under GST. It contains the details of outward supplies of taxable goods and services effected during the month or quarter. It is to be filed monthly by all regular taxpayers who have not registered under the QRMP scheme and should be filed by the 11th of the following month. For those taxpayers under the QRMP scheme, the GST-R1 return is to be filed quarterly and by the 13th of the month following the quarter. For taxpayers registered under the QRMP scheme, there is an invoice furnishing facility or IFF provided by the government where such taxpayers can furnish details of their B2B supplies for the first 2 months of the quarter. The due date is the 13th of the following month. The next return to be filed by regular taxpayers under GST is GST-R3B. Similar to the GST-R1, the filing frequency is monthly or quarterly depending upon whether the taxpayer has opted for the QRMP scheme or not. The GST-R3B is a summary return of outward supplies and input tax credit claimed along with the payment of tax by the taxpayer. The due date is the 20th of the following month for monthly taxpayers. For quarterly taxpayers, the due date is the 22nd or 24th of the month following the quarter. You might wonder why the GST-R3B has 2 due dates for quarterly filers. This is because the due date depends on the state that the taxpayer is registered in. For taxpayers in X category states, the due date is 22nd of the month following the quarter. For taxpayers in Y category states, the due date is 24th of the month following the quarter. You can pause the video for a moment to find out which category state you belong to. The next important return that contains details of outward supplies is CMP08. This statement cum challan is to be filed by all taxpayers registered under the composition scheme. It is submitted quarterly along with the tax payment and the due date is 18th of the month succeeding the quarter. Composition taxpayers are also required to file an annual return, that is Form GSTR4. This return is to be filed by the 30th of the month succeeding the financial year. Now, moving on to the returns to be filed by specific taxpayers under GST. The GSTR5 is that return that needs to be filed by a non-resident taxable person. The frequency of filing is monthly and the due date is the 20th of the succeeding month. Note that this due date was amended to 13th of the succeeding month by Budget 2022. However, same is yet to be notified by the CBIC. Similarly, non-resident OIDAR service providers, that is taxpayers supplying online information, database access and retrieval services, are required to file a return, namely GSTR5A. The frequency of filing is monthly and the due date is 20th of the succeeding month. Then comes the return to be filed by an input service distributor under GST to distribute the eligible input tax credit to its branches. It is called the GSTR6. The frequency of filing is monthly and the due date is 13th of the month succeeding the month. Now comes the returns to be filed by taxpayers deducting or collecting tax at source. Let us find out more about them. For taxpayers deducting tax at source or TDS, the return to be filed is Form GSTR7. The frequency of filing is monthly and the due date is 10th of the succeeding month. Likewise, for taxpayers collecting tax at source or TCS, basically e-commerce operators, the return to be filed is Form GSTR8. This return contains details of supplies affected and the amount of tax collected at source by them. The frequency of filing is monthly and the due date is 10th of the succeeding month. Now we move on to annual GST returns in Form GSTR9. While this return has been prescribed for all regular taxpayers under GST, the government has made it optional for certain small taxpayers, that is, with a turnover of up to Rs 2 crore for financial year 2020-21. Being an annual return, the GSTR9 is to be filed once a year and is due by 31st of December of the next financial year. Along with the annual return for regular taxpayers, there is a self-certified reconciliation statement in Form GSTR9C that is also required to be filed or submitted by 31st of December of the following financial year. In this case as well, the government has exempted small taxpayers with a turnover of up to Rs 5 crore from submitting this statement. We next move on to GSTR10, which is the final return to be filed by a taxpayer whose registration of GST is cancelled. This return is to be filed just once when the GST registration is cancelled or surrendered and should be filed within 3 months of the date of cancellation or date of cancellation order, whichever is later. The last return in GSTR series is GSTR11, which contains details of inward supplies to be furnished by person having UIN and claiming refund. The GSTR11 is to be filed monthly by 28th of the month following the month for which statement is filed. Wait, we are yet to be done with all the statements to be filed. If you are a taxpayer who has sent or received goods from a job worker, you will need to submit a statement called ITC04. The same is to be submitted annually for taxpayers with an annual aggregate turnover of up to Rs 5 crore by 25th of April following a financial year. And for taxpayers with an annual aggregate turnover exceeding Rs 5 crore, statement is to be filed by 25th October for the first half year and 25th April for the second half year, respectively. It is important to note that all GST return filing due dates are subject to changes by CBIC notifications or orders. Oh, that was a lot of returns to find out about and keep in mind, wasn't it? But don't worry, as I've mentioned in this video, all these returns don't apply to everyone. You will need to file just the particular returns applicable to your business. So don't forget to save this video and also download our annual GST compliance calendar, which is available in the description of this video so that you can never miss out on any due date. Clear GST is India's most trusted GST filing software and offers most exclusive features for its users that will assure 100% accurate GST return filing. With Clear Tax GST, you can connect with hundreds of ERPs and import data error-free. File all returns from GSTR1 to GSTR9C and many more, made at least 3 times faster, match over 6,000 invoices in less than a minute, and detect 100% tax credits with AI-powered matching. Get 2 to 7% tax savings with smart reconciliation and reports. Get multiple validations done at every step, reviewed by over 60 experts, and choose from a variety of smart analytic reports available on tap and much more. If you would like to get a demo of Clear GST filing software to understand how you can file error-free returns, please click on the link given in the video description below and enter your contact details. One of our product experts will get in touch with you and schedule a demo at your convenience. We are now at the end of this video. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. Also, please don't forget to click on the link given in the description of this video to explore Clear GST solution for quick and error-free return filing. Thank you.